Yo, Eric, we're over here on the paranormal hunt, and I headed over to this other building, and it's number 13. I was just telling Ron, my God.
Well, welcome everybody. I know this is kind of a last minute throwdown in a way. You know, I didn't have a link up last night, kind of just threw it up 45 minutes ago, you know, and I had time and I asked Anthony if he has time because I want to go over how do we know what's real news anymore? You know, how do we know what we're looking at and how to look at something? So it's, I guess you could say today is kind of more of an education piece of when you look at somebody's footage, and the hardest thing to ever know is in life is what you're looking at. First of all, are you accepting that it's real or not?
Right.
And how do you know? And now at the end of the day, we all know. I said this so many times before. Everything comes down to a belief system. You have to believe in something, even in the first place. Doesn't matter what video you're looking at or not. Everything comes down in a belief system because only thing at 100% truth is only with the person with the eyes who saw an object. It could be a Bigfoot, ghost, paranormal, could be a UFO. Only the person that's physically looking at it can be at 100%. So when you're showing footages at other people, the question is it fudged? Is it? I'm not talking about adding music. Music is just getting, just nothing. I'm talking about CGI or something. What do you look for and what do you spot for? And about 3-4 years ago, when I started the Gypsy Road channel, when I had other channels, one of the main reasons why I started that channel is because I was actually learning about this Mandela effect thing. People saying, "Hey, Eric, have you ever looked into the Mandela effect?" And I was like, "What the fuck is the Mandela effect?" I'm seriously, I like, what retarded name is that? But when people explain the phenomenon, okay, I was at a point where, I have different memories. That is weird. Wow. So I opened up a YouTube channel, and the idea was I was going through YouTube, social media, trying to learn more about it. But then when you start learning more about things, you don't even know who you could trust of more or less of trying to learn something. You don't know what channel you're going to is even giving you the truth. And that was the hardest thing to do. Like, is this person explaining his explanation? Is this guy even real in the first place? Right. He's making it up. It's such a hard thing, Anthony, to try to determine what is real and fake. And are you going to the people that are bringing you honest videos where when I show a video, I always tell people I can't tell you if it's true or not because I wasn't there. I tell people right off the bat. It's just like a warning. Right. What I'm showing you could be fake, could be not. I don't know. And this is another thing. If one person in the chat is looking at the same footage as you, and he goes, "Eric, that's fake," you don't even know if that, I hate to say it, you don't even know if that guy is just saying it just to say it because he belongs to another channel or something. So you don't know. That's why I always say he has to come down to a belief system.
Well, and not only that, it's so important that you do your due diligence and investigate yourself. If you're serious about the UFO field and the paranormal field and the cryptid field, it's very important that if you see something and you're unsure about it, don't just listen to us. Do a little investigating yourself. Google it. Type in exactly what you're looking for. If it's a UFO over Mexico, type in UFO over Mexico. They'll all pop up and then go from there. or ask a couple people that research and see what their thoughts are.
And
Because another problem today, Eric, is people they'll come on and do a show, and then they'll start the show off with, we don't know if this is real or fake. We want you to determine that. They'll start it off like that. But theoretically, they already know what they're showing you 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Believe me when I tell you, they know it's fake, and they're just playing it like they don't. That's a big problem today also.
And sometimes everybody starts off with a good heart in a way. And when they get this popularity, sometimes to stay on top, people will do whatever it takes to even stay on top. There's even people who change. And that's hard to know. We're going to dissect some videos too, just to see what to look for. But I did have an article, and I paste the 5 tips in my description, so anybody can read the description of 5 tips. And I thought, hey, I'll just read some of it, and we'll see if some of these tips, is very useful. And so one of the tips, I actually lost the website. I can't even find it anymore, but thank God I copy and paste it. It's not even my history no more. I don't know. Mandela effect. I don't know. Like, here's number 1. Question the video and articles you're seeing to click next on. That's the title of question 1. Makes sense. Question the videos and articles you're seeking to click next on. Clicking on the next article or video suggested to you is a recommendation. This is likely to be skewing your view towards a particular topic, as the same message is probably being repeated to prompt you to take a particular action. Take a second before clicking on that recommended video or the article and ask, is this reinforcing what I just read? And what is it making me want to do? So what that is saying is like YouTube. And you know this, Anthony, you type in something, you want to research something, you get all these recommendations. And it's going to try to pull you in certain ways. And for whatever reason, who's ever has usually on YouTube, they put the highest number, like the most popular one, right on top in the bottom. And sometimes the perception that a regular person gets, right or wrong, they're thinking, well, if this is number 1, this article here must be more real, or that guy's point of view might be real. And what the article is saying, you think twice first. And I like what you're saying is, okay, if you do click on that one, make sure that's not the only one you click on.
Right.
Click on several for that article. And what you do is you look for clues, you look for same parts of the story, and some stories that are totally different. And then if you find something that's different, maybe research that is different. It's hard. I know it's hard. But what do you recommend when you type in a name on YouTube and it comes up with this big list? How would you do your research?
I mean, I would go by the first one that it shows, because that means it's the most researched one. So normally the first one that pops up on Google is the most researched, the most accurate one, 9 times out of 10. So I would start from the top and work my way down. And then I would ask researchers in the field that I personally trust. I would bring it to Eric or Ron or Spooky or Chad Smith, and we'll have a meeting and we'll say, hey guys, what do you think about this? Or, how many times I send Chad something from the Chad Smith podcast and I ask him, what do you think about this? I send him stuff in Messenger all the time to ask him his thoughts on things. And I'm a boots on the ground researcher myself, but I still ask other researchers that are in the field.
Well, think about this. If you have a certain kind of video, like you said, say you have yourself a UFO video, and you want to show certain people to get their point of view, and you just don't want to get all the point of view all from the UFO community. You want to get an opinion outside the UFO community.
From everybody.
Sometimes when you're into something so much, you're going to try to push it to make it more real than it is, where you're someone on the outside who's looking at it fresh eyes and not necessarily 100% in the UFO, they might give you a fresh idea and look. And I love that. Now I gotta ask Lynn this. I love the way Eric says popular. Now, is it because I say stupid? I say funny? Popular. So I gotta ask this. So how am I saying that? So if you love it, I want to say it more like that. If you guys didn't know, guys got to remember when I was a kid. When I was a kid, this is true. You can talk to my brother. You know, he'll tell you I was actually 80% deaf when I was a kid.
Really?
I was actually 80% deaf. Didn't even know I couldn't hear properly because that's all I knew. And it wasn't until Anthony, I don't know if you ever even heard this story. So,
No.
in elementary school, the teachers thought there was something wrong with me, like not physically, but like I don't want to use the word mentally challenged or something. They thought because I wasn't responding to them. So this is true story. So I actually got sent to another school.
Really?
Because they did. This is my brother would tell you, everybody in my family would tell you. So they sent me to this other school because they thought that I needed help and stuff. And then a teacher was like, I guess apparently she was like talking behind me, but I wasn't responding. And then because I guess as a kid, I learned to read people's lips in a way. I learned to read people's lips in a way. So, because you just adapt because that's all you know. And they're like, I don't think he hear. And then went to the doctor and they found out I had some ear issues. And then I actually, next thing I knew, I had to get an operation actually on the ears. I had to remove there's actually like tonsils, like actually in the ears too, in a way. They had to remove those. Yeah. So, I had tubes my whole life. I'm an expert on tubes. I'm an expert at having blood coming out of the ear.
I had no idea, man.
Oh yeah. So and even to this day, I mean, I could hear way better, but one is better than the other, and almost to the point where I wasn't about to be allowed to go into the Coast Guard. They had to actually send me to a side ear doctor, and then I had to play with some ear stuff. Like there's some things I remember I pretended in the past and all that. So you can say I learned how to say words wrong in a lot of ways, but people always ask sometimes like, where did you tell anybody? Well, and I'm like, well, how do you tell somebody when it wasn't like one day 80% went out? Right. It was just like that. So, and everybody in my family, it was all guys. My mom left when I was a baby, so it was all guys. So everybody talked loud. What I learned, and that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. All right, sorry I sidetracked it, but maybe. And I sometimes
that's why sharing that, brother. I appreciate.
Well, that's why sometimes I do have problems of saying certain words. It's like maybe I learned it wrong or right, or it's just the way it is.
Hey man, we love you just the way you are, brother.
But that was it was funny. And then after they fixed it, I aced the school. They had to send me back. And it's just like it's one of those things when people say that teachers don't really look into somebody. Really, they don't.
That's a lot to deal with as a young kid, man.
Oh, dude, when you got every kid going on a regular bus to their school, and you have a private car that picks you up and takes you to another school, oh my God, kids are mean.
They are mean, man.
They see you oh my God, I can't even tell you, people, that some of the things that I was told as a kid. Somebody said you should never. Literally, somebody told me you should never have a kid because since you are retarded, that's what they said. Since you're retarded, your kids are going to be that way.
Don't even think like that, man.
I mean, I'm telling you, and it's not necessarily parents and stuff. It's just some kids.
Just mean, bro.
They're just mean. So it's
sorry.
That's why I've learned in life to put up a lot because sometimes in life you just got to put up a lot. You just you're used to people bashing. So like
we love you, Eric. Just know that, bro.
I'm not gonna talk about the show last night, but when people talk about like people making fun of people disabled and stuff, I don't like people to even touch other people's disabled because it's rotten, it's wrong. Because you never know, one day, you might be, for whatever reason, 100% perfect. You never know. You might come down with a sickness, something, a body part might have to be gone. There might be a day that you might become disabled, and you're not going to like how you're going to be treated the way you treat other people. The way you treat other people in the long run is going to be the way you're going to be treated if something happens to you.
It happened to me, Eric. I got crushed in. I was perfectly fine, man, my whole life. And then I was on a second job doing a job, and the floor above me collapsed, and a couple of us got trapped under the rubble, and now I'm totally disabled. And I
Yeah.
broke my back, my neck. I had my shoulder replaced. I got pins and rods and screws all over my back and neck, and
Yeah.
I'm totally disabled now.
I'm a service-connected disability veteran. You know, I had an injury that happened with my hands where now my hand just goes numb, whatever it wants. You know, but in life, like, you know, you deal with what you deal with. You just you can't stop.
Nothing you can do about it.
That's why I like spotting fakes and stuff. You know, even if you're looking at a lot of fakes or reels, you know, you got to keep going, whatever you're looking at. And like I said, what I think is important about this video is learning what to look for. Like, here's number 2. Now, number 2 on spotting fakes and stuff is look at the other side of the argument. So you maybe got caught up in a rabbit hole of videos and articles recommended to you to watch, like YouTube, meaning that you're likely that only one side of the argument is being shown to you.
Mm-hmm.
And probably very persuasive, or very, you know, whoever you're watching is pushing their beliefs onto you. So you may feel very passionate about the topic you're learning about, possibly feeling very emotional, angry, sad, or frustrated. That is what the content is designed to do. Now reflect on what you just read and flip it. What is the opposite argument? Balance your views by seeing the other side of the coin and be open to learning about the side passionately. Like, that could be looking at different articles, different sites.
Yep.
Like you're saying in the other one, talk to different people, show it to different people, flip it, hear their arguments about what they're seeing, hear all sides. Just don't listen to exactly what is being presented in front of you.
Right.
Because when you click on something, or here's a good example. If you watch CNN News, you're going to get a Democrat point of view. You watch Fox News, you're going to get a Republican point of view. So if you have a topic, listen to both maybe, and then try to determine yourself. And then, of course, I always say, then look for an independent guy that has that same topic. Try to get at least three or more views of whatever you're looking at to get a better perspective of whatever you're investigating.
Right.
It is hard. It is a lot of work. But if you really want to get to the truth, it's just some things you have to do.
Technology today is so great that unfortunately these are the things you have to do. Everybody wants to be YouTube famous. Everybody wants to get rich quick overnight, and they'll do anything they can to get there. So, and
that's why we're gonna be looking at some videos and try to, because you're right, technology has changes the face of this earth. I mean, every single day. I mean,
this gets better and better, man.
They say, the technology of what the phone has done will be considered one of the things in history that have changed everybody's life dramatically. One of the main things. You could probably say when books came out, changed things because now people got to read other people's ideas. But the phone, the tip of your finger, has
20 years ago,
changed.
You couldn't do anything with a phone. 20 years ago, you could barely text. Today, you can cripple a country with a phone today. You can do anything with a phone today. What's up, Ron?
Hey, what's going on, boys? How's it going? Do I sound okay?
Yeah, you sound fine, bro.
So Ron, we're on
the Yeti today. All right, sorry.
Perfect.
No, I'm still telling you, Ron. Right now, we're on number 3 of these are just tips on how to spot certain fakes. And just so you know, in the first 2 that you missed, I don't know if you were listening, but the first 2 is question the videos, articles that you're seeing, that you're clicking on. And then number 2 on this list was look at the other side of the argument. So just don't judge everything you see on the first click that you do. On those first 2 parts that we just say, is that what you do when you're researching whatever you're researching?
With everything, don't get outside your own bubble. You know what I mean? That's the basic thing, because if you can try to eliminate as much of your own biases that a lot of people think they don't have. That's it. You just it's like I found this. If people know how to play chess, if you could play a game against yourself and complete one whole game, you'll learn a lot of discipline.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Well
you
said.
know.
And Ron, after we get through these 5, we are going to look at some videos because I know one of the reasons I wanted you on here because I know you know technology better than I do, and maybe you could give points of views to people on what to look for in a video, just to try to determine is what you're seeing could be real because unless you're there, you're never going to be at 100% unless you're the person that's taking it. We know that. But number 3, I think number 3 is very important. This is very important. I think this is probably one of the top ones for me. Consider the author of the source. Bloggers, writers, journalists, and vloggers may be taking the story and information and form the argument where they put it together to present it to their audience. So, check their source. They may be citing to see if you would evaluate the findings the same way and question whether you are getting a balanced view from the author. Here are some questions you can ask yourself. Who wrote the article? Okay. Who made this video? Very important. What do I know about them? Are they credible? This person sounds credible. But what is their motive for getting my attention? Is it to build their following and to have their message heard louder? Who is funding the article or video? Is the publication source credible? I think this one is so important because it's right. Whoever you're watching, well, who are you watching? Where is he getting it from? Is the video source from him? Is it from a third party? A couple questions you got to ask. And, where what kind of equipment is he even using? Is there a flare? Studying that person. Listen, you're never going to know an in and out of a person at 100%. We know that. I mean, Anthony's the greatest guy in the world. But all I know technically behind the scenes at night, he's a serial killer that we don't know. New York.
Hey, don't let me out, Eric. Only you do that.
Dude, we don't know Ron at 5 o'clock in the morning. He's a peeping Tom in people's houses. We know who you're all.
Just ask me.
You get what I mean. You get what I mean. It's hard to know somebody exactly at 100% unless you're actually, you don't even know sometimes about your neighbors. You learn things like, oh my God, my neighbors did that. Shit, you don't know. But it is important. I mean, so Anthony, like if somebody tells you to go to a brand new YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, a UFO guy. What would you do to study that guy first to know is he going to be the right channel for you?
Dude, again, I Google the person first and see what everybody's writing about them. I try to get a feel for what kind of channel they are first. That's the most important thing you could do. I mean, you could Google anything today and you're going to get information. You could Google yourself today and get information, right? Normally, a really big UFO channel, a paranormal channel, you Google them, you're going to get points of view from hundreds of people, right? How they feel about that channel, what that channel did, what you should be cautious of, what to look out for. That's what I like to do personally. And then I'll go check the channel out myself for a little while and see what they're all about. Sometimes it's hard to see if people are deceiving you because they might be a real big channel. They might have money. They might have, good sources where they can put things through professional companies to have them, edited, the software that they use. There's technology today, man, where people just can't tell if it's real or fake until they get busted, unfortunately. That's how good technology's gone. I was going down this rabbit hole yesterday on my show, and it seemed that people were getting upset because I was saying not to trust all the mainstream sources that we listen to every day just because they're on TV. You got Linda Moulton Howe, Nick Pope, all those big guys, right? And I'm not saying everything they put out there is BS, but a lot of it is. They got a lot of stuff behind paywalls. They tell you, oh, look, we got, a top secret whistleblower from the military gave me a photo of a gray alien, blah, blah, blah. And then we come to find out months later that gray alien photo that we got was off the cover of a video game.
You know why that's important?
So don't
Anthony?
trust anybody.
You know why that's important, Anthony? Because these big channel or these big news channels, they're getting the report from somebody. They're not. A lot of these aren't out there themselves.
You're not doing it.
They themselves are not the ones are seeing this. They're reporting where they say it's a trust.
The studio gives them that stuff because it looks good, it looks real, and they're gonna get a ton of clicks and views from it. See, people don't realize the first time the video goes up, the amount of views that it gets, that's going to determine how the show's going to do.
And
so if that show gets 1 million views, they're making buku bucks. They don't care if they get caught 4 or 5 shows down the road. They don't care about that.
No.
They just want to make the money. Once they got the money, they got it. They don't get it back.
One of the things I like about your channel, Anthony, is a lot of the UFO footage just comes from you. You take it. So right there alone, I don't have to find out who's the third party. I don't have to research that part. It makes it a little easier. It's just you and your sighting, you know, like Ron, how do you when you heard about my channel, what do? You know, how do you know that this is a channel I could have fun or trust?
Well, I personally know you, but I mean, go ahead, Ron.
The obvious one is watch it, but I go by like anybody's channel. I don't just jump right into the mix and in the whole chat because you could get swept up into that and you're not paying attention. That's why a lot of times I'll go full screen on things, but
happened to me.
I'll just watch and I'll see the consistency. And I'll also watch because there's shows out there that, you know, you can have one host, you can have multiple hosts, and like there's people that believe everything. And the ones is that when they get mad when you question it and something that's like absurd, you know what I mean? And they get so that's what I watch out for. I just watch out for that. I watch how real the person is, and it's something that it's not that you can teach. Everybody has it, that instinct, you know, when you can just tell if like, come on, if I never seen you before and I seen you and Jeremy Doorbell telling the same exact story at the same exact time, I could guarantee you my gut would say, go to Eric, you, like that. You could know that guy is just not trustworthy.
And there are people who will, you know, say, yeah, dissect my video, do whatever you want. But there are some people that say, no, they don't want you to, or they don't care what your findings are. They won't even listen to you.
You just hit the nail on the head, Eric. You just hit the nail on the head, and I'm glad you brought that up. I am one of those channels that tell everybody, my video is there for the taking. Take it, use it, dissect it, send it to anybody you want to get analyzed. I guarantee you that when you come back, your findings is going to be they cannot explain what I filmed, because I can't explain what I filmed. And not only that, I offer any one of my subscribers, any one of them can get in touch with me privately. I will give them a location. They can come out with me and meet up with me anytime they want to go out in the field and research. I will give them a night vision camera. I will give them the equipment if they don't have it to use, and I will show them exactly what I do and how I break it down out in the field. I invite anybody to come.
I do the same thing. When I've taken the stuff, always will put in the description before I started doing the live streams. In the videos, I would always put the link, upload them to Google Drive, the raw files, like even the snaps. You know how it's on a Canon, it's CR3, that's a raw file. Upload that and upload gigabytes of data and say, have at it, because I want to know too if it's legit like that.
Before I go to number 4, I do want to apologize to the chat. You know, sometimes we get into these kind of conversations, I pay attention to the conversation. I don't necessarily the chat. So if you guys are saying something that we're missing, I apologize. But sometimes these topics, I want to concentrate on these topics. So I will respond to people in the chat when I get a chance. But I want
to. They're all important so far, but this is super important. Number 4.
Now here's number 4, and then this is just as important as and guys, there's only 5 of these, and then we'll try to take some of these and look at a video for fun and try to see how we dissect it.
Oh yeah, I'll load the video.
Here's number 4. Look at how the data was collected. When doing research, particularly academic research, the methodology should be as sound as possible. This means the people spoken to, the number of people spoken to, who knows what about the topic being researched, what organization funded the research, and the length of time of the study. All factor into how solid a piece of research is, particularly in terms of the quality of the data and how widely it could be applied to a larger population. The highest quality research method is double-blind trial. This is where no one in the study, including the researcher, knows what's placeable and what's the real intervention could be. Drug is a reduced bias. I'm not going to go with the famous case here, but that is important because when people talk about all the data we gather, you know, I hear that a lot from a lot of people. When they say, yeah, we gathered the data. And I'm like, okay, how do you gather the data? Where are you gathering this data from? Are you using a data resource, like a website? Like, you know, a lot of people upload stuff to a certain UFO website. Is that where your data is coming from? It is important to know how you're doing the data. Where is it coming from? And if you trust the data that you have, I feel you should never have a problem of saying who you're using to gather the data. And if you do, like you're saying, Anthony, earlier, like you go to 3-4 different people, and if you really trust those people, unless they don't want their names out there, I understand that part. But if they don't mind their names out there, you should say these are some of the people that I went to make people feel more comfortable on how you're gathering the data and how you're double checking your own stuff.
Yep.
Well, think about it like that real quick with Linda Moulton Howe, right? So everybody knows that she got caught a couple of times, but that one time when she presented a picture that it was a gray alien on the moon, it took people literally 2 seconds to do a reverse image lookup on the internet. Yep. And it went back and it showed that it came from a guy's video game cover.
Area 51 video game.
Yeah, and it's like there's no mistake. Oh no, exactly from. That's why she had that meltdown. It's very simple to do that, you know.
And then she did it again, Ron, with the guy from Brazil, the artist, who did an artist rendition of an alien autopsy, an alien gray being autopsied. Now, mind you, for us, regular people out in the field, people in the audience that don't have channels, that don't go out in the field and investigate this, when they seen these photos, man, they looked good. Because the first time I seen them myself, I was like, wow, that looks great. That looks legit. I can't believe she got that. And then it turned out the artist came forward and said, I created that. That's a sculpture that I created of an alien getting an autopsy. It was a what do you call it? A synthetic skinned figure getting autopsied. It looks so real, but she used that. Yep. She got busted again. Now, I'm not saying that this proves everything Linda did in the past, because she did phenomenal work coming up the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. But then, you know.
But look what happened, Anthony, right? Because that's it. But when you say check the source, right? So now when you find that it came from that guy, so now she's wrong. But did you see what happened?
She didn't.
It went further back. The guy, that was actually not synthetic. Scambian and even Sixth Sense got upset because the guy wasn't honest. That picture was actually from a human autopsy.
Yep. And they put an alien
guy from Brazil, even though he edited it, he was lying too.
Yep.
Yep.
He made it sound like he did the whole thing, but he did it. He actually cropped the thing out.
Yep.
Like that.
Well, Lynn said it perfectly here. She said you got to be careful what platform you use also. You know, one of the big things in the Bigfoot community is DNA. You know, collecting DNA. But then you also got a question. Well, who you're sending the DNA to? Can you trust that companies will even tell you the truth?
I would never do that.
It's crazy today, Eric, man.
It is.
It
because
really is.
First of all, the biggest thing about DNA, I know this is a little bit off topic. No, doing DNA is not cheap.
No.
It's very expensive. So when you hear that we're doing DNA, well, who's doing it? I mean, how do you trust that platform to tell you the truth? You know, or because, you know, hey, listen, there's some DNA companies, not all, but there are some that have a guideline, found out that they have a guideline that if they find something that's not supposed to be there, or they don't have a chart for it, they have to report it to a certain group or certain part of the government, they have to first, before they even allowed to give it to you. Some of these DNA companies are funded by them. So when you get funded, before they report anything that's not on their chart, they have to report it to them first. Then you got to look at that. Well, if they have to report it to somebody else, are they going to be allowed to give you that information? I mean, it's so freaking hard.
It is.
It is. Because none of us have the money to fully research the companies that people use. I mean, how do you research that, you know? I mean, we can Google much as we can, but we know there's corruption in every company that there is. Not all companies, but there's a lot of corruption. Well, let's check out number 5 here. We got one more, and then we'll look at some videos here. Number 5. Remember, the correlation isn't caution. When looking at information, particularly if someone has shared a journal article to read to maybe highlight their view, look at the findings. If a group of 10 people were observed doing something or something occurring, such as a medical condition, the findings may say that the researcher made the connection between a couple of things. Probably correlation and not caution. There are very different ways to connect things. To illustrate this, see random correlation. Oh, basically, it's, I guess, remember, that's kind of a weird one. I'm trying to think of what are they exactly saying here. So you have findings. And
they're trying to say that you could go to 5 different researchers and you can get 5 answers from 5 different researchers.
You're right.
Like you were saying before, like you got to watch what you do because everybody can have a different answer. That's basically what they're trying to say. So
you know what?
Watch out.
You know, Anthony, I said this a long time ago. Like if a Republican Party wants to do a survey about something that they're strongly want to get out there, well, when they do their survey, they'll probably go to a college that's more Republican versus Democrat. So that's gonna skew their survey, and a Democrat's gonna survey their belief on a Democrat type of college. It's like when I hear, well, look at this survey, and I always say, like, well, I never took in that survey. First of all, who are we surveying? I mean, is it open to everybody in the United States to do this survey? Is it to certain groups? It's easy to get your survey influenced by the places you're going. Like I always said this too. If you got you're selling a medical product or something, you want to prove something, you can find a scientist that's gonna go with you, and you're gonna find one that goes against it.
Yeah.
And you just pick the one that goes for you rather than the other person who's against it. You can sway anything you want.
Especially today.
Yes. Yeah. It really is. It really is. And it is hard. You know, well, I did these 5 people. Well, yeah, but those 5 people are his friends. They're always, you know, there's never going to be a true winning. Now, I do agree, you know, in the investigation, if you could take along a skeptic person with you, a skeptic where he's not going to be stuck in his ways if he doesn't understand what he's saying. I'm talking about a good skeptic that's going to be with you that might not have the same views, but are still willing to give you his true findings, not be pig-headed and say, no, that's not true. You know what I mean?
That's why I got Andy. He's skeptical about everything. He don't believe anything when it comes to UFOs. And you
also have, I'm not putting Andy there, but Andy's a little bit more skeptical than you. Skeptical. And it's good to have a person like that to get a more of a skeptical point of view. There's nothing wrong with that. Unless you're being an asshole about it.
That's the whole purpose of my show. It's I'm the believer, Andy's the skeptic. That's why we're always fighting with each other.
That's why I always say when I present something that I believe, because a lot of people talk in fact. Like, you know what always drives me nuts when they talk about the Greys. They say, like, look at the Greys. All right, have you seen, like, okay, maybe you had an experience, but a lot of people talk about it like it's just a fact that it's like they're walking around in the supermarket and everything like that.
Yeah.
Now, it's not taken away from experiences. I understand that, but, you know.
You're saying, like, you know, just because everybody hasn't seen it That's why it's not fact. If we all witnessed it together, the whole world witnessed grays, then you could say, all right, there's grays.
No, not the whole world. But what I'm getting at is, like, if you go to the majority of people on this planet, let's say 8 billion people, right, kids included, if you ask 8 billion people, I would tell you, like, probably, and this is just my guess, over 7.5 billion will say no. And the others could say they either had dreams or they had an experience or something like that. You know what I mean? And, you know, but because I had my own, I told you about the black hat guy. You know what I mean? That when I talked about it again, it rocked me for 2 nights. I couldn't sleep, you know?
Let's do this now. Everything that actually, I don't know why Second Star Survival is never a rich person. He's one of the smartest. He's a smart, intelligent guy. Now, I'm going to show a video. This is a video from Anthony. And so what I'll do is we're going to play the video.
Well, hold on. Let me explain first what you're going to see.
Okay.
So I film an object over the beach on Staten Island in night vision, in color night vision. The strange thing about this object you're going to see is it was not visible with the naked eye at all. It kind of looks like a rocket being fired up or something taken off, but it's not. There was no rocket launches that night, no SpaceX, no NASA, none of that. Plus, I'm in New York City. We don't have anything like that anyway. It's over the ocean. It's going to appear to you in orange, but the actual color it was in the sky was like a yellowish gold color. And time to time, there's these little white orbs that come out of the tail section of this object. It made no sound. And the reason why I use a laser pointer is I circle things in the sky when they're there with a laser pointer, because you can't circle something in the sky when it's CGI or it's fake. That's why I use a laser pointer a lot of the time, and I'll circle the object with it in the sky to show you in real time that that object is there, that I got a laser.
He's not putting the laser on a plane. It's not pointing right at it. So, because I know some people get worried. Oh,
as far as pointing laser pointers at planes and all that stuff, no, I don't do that. I have a bunch of apps running radar that tell me where planes are, satellites,
so ISS, all that shit. We're going to play this, Ron, and I want you, if you pretend you saw this for the first time, and you're like a person in the chat, what would you recommend? What would you look at? And we know it's from Anthony, but
actually, this will be the second time I'm seeing it, because he just showed me the other day, and I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, all right.
Can I give him? Let me give him this. Thank you so much. That is $20. Wow, that's unbelievable.
Appreciate that, man.
I don't know how, just thank you. So here we go. This is the video, guys. We're going to take a look, and then everybody in the chat too, you look at it and tell us whatever you want to say about it.
How
Question the hell out
of it. Put your investigator hat on now, everybody.
Yeah. Everybody, put your investigating hat, and let's all look at this.
Let me know when you're ready. I'll put the volume on.
There we go. Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right, man. I don't know what we got in the sky here. Wow, what is that over Staten Island? Oh no, low battery.
And it drained the fully charged battery.
I'm gonna just keep plugging away. What is going on there? The moon is here. I don't know what that is, man. Oh my God, what is this?
See little dots in the cone below it?
We are live over Staten Island, New York, friends.
Watch it break through the cloud.
God, this is not seen with the naked eye. I don't know what that is.
Watch this.
As you can see, that is the moon. This is no effect. There it is up in the sky. What? What the hell is this? Oh, I'm zoomed in all the way. This is illuminating the entire sky, ladies and gentlemen. It is illuminating the entire sky. Let me get a laser on this UFO. Right here. I do not know what that is. What? I do not know what this
That's
anomaly
huge.
is. Unbelievable.
The little flashing light on the bottom is a plane. That little white dot there is a plane. So look
You
at
know what date and time this was?
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness gracious. I'm going to just pull back here real quick. As you can
So
see,
Ron,
I'm over
is
the
that the
ocean
first question
line,
you would ask somebody,
and
like
that
the
is
date and time when this happened?
couple hundred feet
Yeah.
in the atmosphere.
it's on the video.
I
What?
don't know what
It's
we
on the
got
video
going on
label.
there.
Oh no, his overlay. I can't see it.
I'll tell you in a
I'm
second
gonna-
when
my
it's done.
Pocket removed the
battery is gonna
overlay.
die. It's dying. I lost the object. My God, I'm gonna change batteries and see.
Okay.
So Ron, what would be the first thing you would
Let me
question
get
from
that
the
for you,
beginning?
Ron.
That would be one. Where was this? When was
Staten
it?
Island. Where we were, Ron, on Staten Island on my beach.
Yeah. What this is what I would do. No, but he's asking me. I know I know where it is now, but where did it happen? When did it happen?
Yeah, I'm gonna get you that right now.
What time did it happen? Because what I want to do is I want to check everything to make sure that there's nothing that was tested or anything like that. Like,
Yeah.
because before you go non-terrestrial, you want to check all the
I
terrestrial.
can see
things.
that.
Yeah,
Because-
we did
because
all of that
Pat
already.
said-
This was over a year ago, but
Well,
hold
because
on.
if you have the date and time,
Yeah, it was
then
1 year
technically
ago.
You can research, like if you're going to use YouTube, to see if anybody else had any sightings in that area that date during that time. To see if there's multiple people.
So
Not
this
saying that's
was
guaranteed to say it's real or not, but these it gives you a date and time to see if anybody else have seen it too, and maybe they have a footage from a different angle.
this
Agreed.
was September 15th, 2021, over the beach, Staten Island, New York. And I think it was about 10 o'clock at night.
And that when when I was on your beach, was that looking out over the wreck?
Over the wreck.
Right?
Over the wreck.
Going out that way.
Yep.
All right. And that's going toward the city, right?
That's going towards New Jersey.
And
New Jersey. Gotcha.
then after I researched that, then I would see, is the channel that this is showing on, is it his or is it a third party?
No,
And
it's
if it's
mine.
a third party. I know it's yours, but I'm just saying, if I
He's
was
doing the
investigating it-
investigation process,
if I
Anthony.
was investigating it,
I thought you were asking me.
no. I was just saying, if I was investigating, I'm gonna be like, okay, so if it's a third party, then who's that party? If they have a name or not, because like you said, you want to follow the source. I always say, follow the source, follow where it originated. So on this one, we know that it's originated from Anthony.
Yeah.
That bypasses everybody else. We know it's Anthony. We know the date. We know the time. And
I would also ask what equipment they were using and what settings they were using.
equipment, perfect. Now,
Mhm.
now, Ron. Now, of course, we also know a lot of people are not equipment savvy. I mean, honestly, like I have a Canon using camera right here. EO5 is my this, but I'm not savvy. I can't tell you exact model and stuff. But would you recommend people to, once they know what kind of equipment he's using, to
Hold on a minute, guys. Time out. Dina P said a year ago on her Facebook memories, a rocket went off on SpaceX that night. Yes, in Florida. I'm in New York. I can't see SpaceX in New York. And the SpaceX launch went off 2 hours prior to me seeing that rocket. And
But see, that's
SpaceX,
awesome.
hold on a minute.
That's
Hold
awesome.
on a minute. When SpaceX goes off, it's a continuous cone going through the sky. This was stopped in midair for a period of time. It was just sitting there. It didn't break through the cloud for maybe a minute. It just stood there. And then it starts to go through the cloud. A rocket is just continuous.
Now, yeah, devil's advocate on that, what I will look, right? So when sometimes something that looks static can actually be moving, but it's because it could be on the loop coming towards you, kind of like a tornado. When people find out the last minute, oh man, it's coming towards us because it's not going that way. They just notice it gets a little big or it's moving.
Right.
Sometimes perspective or something like that.
But
That's
you
another
can't
thing
see
I
a
look at.
SpaceX launch from Florida in Staten Island, New York. It's impossible. Otherwise, we'd be out on the beach watching them every time they go off.
But see, that's important to know because a lot of us don't know. We don't live in New York. I don't know how far you can see a rocket. So by her bringing that up, and you saying,
I don't know.
can't
I
see
mean,
it.
not from the initial launch.
That
I don't
helps.
think. Let me
Not
see.
at all.
And it helps to take the SpaceX out of the equation.
Yeah, we had this all investigated already. I appreciate Dina saying that, but we knew all that already. We had this all done a year ago when it happened. We broke down all the times. We went through all the possibilities that could be. That was the first thing that I thought it was, a rocket initially. The crazy thing was, if the camera's not on it, it's not there. You're only seeing it in that light spectrum through color night vision. It's the only way you're picking it up.
Yeah.
Regular
Well,
cameras didn't pick it up.
But see, she asked the right question. You
Yes,
answered it the right
you
way.
asked the right question. Yes,
And
absolutely.
you answered the right way, and then it's like, okay, that makes sense. If they can shoot off
But still,
30 rockets from Florida,
Now-
and you won't even see one of them.
Now, here's something interesting, right? And if you want, I'll send you this link, right?
in the private chat,
Okay, yeah, that's
so
right.
we could pull it up. Well, you could share it below, Ron.
Yeah, no, I'd rather just do this because Eric has his control and he does. I just sent you the link. Now, this is just a thought because, like I said, this isn't trying to. It's not. See, there's people out there that debunkers that they don't believe anything. They just look to prove it, right? No, I like to make sure the process of elimination, because when you get to the bottom and the process is eliminated, what are you left with, right?
Well, this
So
article is
You're pulling up NASA.
Just hold on a second, Anthony. Hold on, right? So this right here, it says, when I'm looking at it, it says, here's how to see a NASA rocket launch sky above New York City this weekend, right?
Mhm.
And it's showing that Northrop Grumman Antares rocket may be visible along the East Coast. Now, I'm not saying that's it because the dates aren't there, but what I'm getting at is it doesn't have to be SpaceX. It could be Northrop Grumman testing on that day, or something from Virginia. It could be seen. I'm just saying it's possible that it's a rocket launch. You know what I mean? And it's not. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Because the first thing I would do is look up all that stuff. And like Dina said, oh, SpaceX. But SpaceX isn't the only thing out there. I will look up other stuff and then start going, oh, what's possible that I can see that looks like that? Because to me, when I
Sure.
look at the trail, it looks like a rocket
It
launch.
does.
That's what it
really
looks
does.
like.
It
But
sure
is
does.
it? I don't know. You know?
It does. Well, you look it up yourselves. September. What was the date that I said it was?
and it says here in New York City, the best time to look up will be 90 to 120 seconds after the launch. So that's a pretty. So after launch, that's about the best chance you will have to even see it.
Fuck. Hold on a second. That's why I do everything on my phone, man. What was the date I said? September something?
I thought you said, was it the 17th?
Hold on, I gotta pull it up on the phone again, because when you look on the iMac, it doesn't tell you.
You're
can't
asking me to remember something?
Hold on, because we're gonna do this now.
Okay. Yeah. And I agree, like with what Lynn LeBlanc said. She said, Anthony, we are not doubting you. We're just going through
Oh,
the
no. Okay, September 15th, 2021, at about 10 p.m. I don't remember if it was 9 or 10 p.m. It was around there.
10:15, you said?
September,
No, I got the date, the time I meant.
between 9 and 10 o'clock. I think
Okay,
it was like
that's a good talk.
9:40. It was like in that time period.
Yeah, that could be looked up.
See, but I love how people read. This is kind of stuff.
But
you're
this is
supposed
how
to
you
do on
investigate
research.
shit. This is how you're supposed to do it.
Now, and we all know there's also magic tricks to even videos. Look at my magic trick. Watch me. Guys, see me?
No, you don't.
Now you don't. Why? Because this is actually a Green Man suit. I used this when I was trying to make a horror movie. So what I'm saying is, but now, Ron, when you look at the beyond the dates of saying rocket ship or not, it's not a rocket ship. Okay. Well, how would you look at it to determine if the video itself has been messed with, like CGI or something? How would you dissect to get that skeptic part out of it?
Well, there's all different. See, like I'm not a video forensics professional.
You're not. You're a common
Right.
person like everybody in the chat. So you're on the same wavelength as all of us. What we can do.
Yeah, but so what I do is I have like multiple video editing programs, right? I don't just use one, and each one I use for different purposes. And there's one that has a lot of these that are very helpful, where you can actually turn it into mono and everything. You could take all the colors out. You can see the layers. And what's really important is the pixelation. You're looking for blur, if anything was intentionally blurred or anything like that.
I'm going to show you something while Ron's looking that up.
Yeah, and here's something. I found something, and even though I know anything you said with the SpaceX, it was hours before, but that's what's interesting about that is they had a 5-hour launch window starting at 8:02 p.m. that night, right? Give me 1 second, and it was the where is it? Damn it! I just lost it because I scrolled. But anyway, go ahead, Anthony. Say what you're going to say. I'm just looking this up.
All right, pull that up on the bottom, Eric. I put down there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got it. Okay. Sorry, my son's cat just jumped on the table.
This is a SpaceX launch. I mean, and this is how I would assume a launch would look in the sky to you.
Yeah, but that's if you're there, like closer to it, maybe.
Well, regardless, I mean, you would see it just like that. All the rocket plume smoke, the cone breaking away from the smoke in different stages. Right?
Yeah, it depended on the distance.
Rocket launch I ever seen looked. Just
No,
out of
but
curiosity.
you're talking. But what I'm talking about is, if let's just say, for giggles, if that was the SpaceX thing, it won't look the same exact as it would if you were like in Georgia looking at it, like where you're like 800 miles closer to it. You know what I mean? It would be different.
Nina said, my mistake. My video was from November 10th a year ago. But regardless, there was a SpaceX launch that night. We know that because when we did the investigation a year ago, there was a launch. The problem was trying to figure out if it was visible from Staten Island. And when we did it, I'm not going to say who investigated it, because when I tell you who investigated it, that just makes even more reason to investigate it more. But when we did the investigation, the people that investigated said it wasn't visible from Staten Island. Now, the whole reason why I'm bringing it up again is because Third Phase of Moon investigated this. And the reason why I brought it up today was because I don't think they're credible anymore. So I really want to know what the hell I witnessed over at the beach. That's why we're bringing it up again. I really want to know what that was. Now, I filmed SpaceX before in Florida with night vision and regular cameras. I've seen them on both. What got me about this sighting that we've seen today was it only got picked up in night vision. The regular camera didn't pick up anything. But then again, Ron's saying distance can play a factor on that. So maybe that's why it would only get picked up on night vision, Ron, and not the regular Nikon.
I don't know. That's actually a good one, because I know the regular cameras, depending on the lens you have and the aperture, the low light,
I had at that time I had the Nikon P1000. Is
that the one you have?
No, now I had the Nikon D5600.
That's right.
I had the 1000, probably the one with the 3000 millimeter zoom.
The 300 millimeter.
3000 millimeter.
3000.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, with the aperture on that, it's not going to have a good aperture. Meaning, if you see 1.8, that opens up and lets in a lot of light. So you'll see almost like a kind of a night vision look with a lower shutter speed. But if you have something that is an f-stop of, let's say, 5.6 and above,
Yeah.
that's not good in low light. So there's a
All right.
potential you don't see that, you
But
know.
just for shits and giggles, did you find anything? What time did that rocket launch that night?
Oh, well,
and was it
that-
visible? And was it visible from the East Coast?
Oh, that's what I'm looking up now. But it's
Okay.
I'm not focusing more on SpaceX too much from Florida. I'm trying to find stuff with Northrop and other ones, because the thing is, if there's a launch of something, it doesn't necessarily, because nowadays, anytime we see a rocket launcher here, we automatically think it's SpaceX like that, right? And everything. It just so happens that night there was a SpaceX launch.
Yeah, that was the only one that they had found, that they had said that SpaceX was the only one that had launched that night.
I'm trying to find the time, because I know they were set to launch in their 5-hour window for 8:02 p.m.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to see what time they actually did launch. You know what I mean? I haven't found it, because as we've been talking, so I haven't.
I remember the time that they gave me was around 8 o'clock was the launch. 8 p.m.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They were saying 8:02 p.m.
So we know that's a UFO, but now I gave you this video yesterday. You showed it on your channel yesterday about the ghost in Gettysburg. So let's go with the paranormal video. Let's go with the paranormal video here. So let's look at this one.
I don't see that. Can't be the motorcycle, right? There's no spark. You see what I'm saying?
She made that same sound.
That sound.
You heard it good, right, Anthony?
Yeah.
No. You lived it, right? Right there. See it? Look.
Okay, so when you look at something like this, now you can't look at times, of course. You can't look at launches and stuff, and there's no ghost times exactly when ghost happens. But how would you try to research this kind of a footage of the paranormal? Now, this is probably a little bit harder.
Well, two things come to mind for me here.
Okay.
One, why I think it's real is she gasps. Oh my God. And I know this from personal. That happened to me when I filmed the ghost in night vision. That was the sound they made. It took the breath right out of me. I was completely shocked. I was shocked on stupid. I was dumbfounded. But could it be recreated? Could I recreate that if I wanted to? And the answer is yes, but it wouldn't be easy. You would have to put up a big sheet of glass in front of the camera. And what's it called, Ron? The ghost trick?
The Pepper's
ghost illusion. And what you would do is you would shine a light onto the glass, and then the camera would film the reflection off the glass. And you would get that illusion like ghosts are walking in the field. The location where these people are is at, what's that place called? Gettysburg.
The battlefield of Gettysburg.
Right, which is one of the most haunted locations. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people died there. So there's two credible reasons why I think it's haunted. One, the way the woman gasped, oh my God, when she seen it. And two, the location that they're at. But to play devil's advocate, could it be recreated? Yeah, you could recreate this 100%.
Of course, but not recreated by not just anybody.
Not every average Joe. You would have to have, and you would have to know what you're doing.
Well, and nowadays the internet, because like he said, if they look it up, it's actually pretty easy, because only a 45-degree angle. And if they were inclined to do it, because depending on, I would also look. It's important like when, because nowadays everything's about going viral.
Yeah,
like that. Everything's about going viral, and people sell their souls just to get there. You know what I mean?
Play devil's advocate again, Ron. The width that you see these figures from right to left is long. It's maybe like within a 300-foot span. So you would need a sheet of glass that was huge to cover
But-
that.
Okay, no. So, right, because you stay on that one. I'll stay on the skeptic side of things right now, right? Because I think it's real. I think
Me
that's
too.
real,
Me
right?
too.
But
Well, then
wait,
let's go
wait,
here. Let's
just
go here.
finish this one
Hold on,
quick
hold on.
point
Okay.
on what Anthony just said about the width. The thing is, again, I fall back to perspective because when you're looking through a camera, that thing it seems like it's all the way out there, but it doesn't have to be. So just like an overlay on something, you can move an overlay and make it smaller, and now it looks like it's back there. And if you make it bigger, it looks like it's in front of you. So that's
you're
why
right.
I'm just saying on that side of things,
True.
but I think it's real.
Yeah.
True.
Now,
Go ahead, Eric.
but now, when you look at this, like you said, we can't prove if it's with equipment to make the fake or not. So if you don't have that, my opinion is next thing is what you said earlier. Listen to the people who are talking. Now there are great actors, there's great actresses, there are a few people that can pass a lie detector test and stuff like that. We know there's a few people. Well, most people can't. On average, people can't. Not everybody is a Tom Cruise actor or an Oscar-winning actor. So you don't have a lot to work with. Do listen to the people, my opinion, because the way their reaction is. And then if you know the exact same reaction by somebody else, like you guys know Anthony has a reaction like that. I would say take Anthony's video. I would listen to his and I'll listen to her to kind of see if it's the same kind of that moment type of, not like.
That was the first thing me and Ron said yesterday when we seen this video, Eric, when we heard her. We're like, oh, this is 100% real because she just had the shit scared out of her just now. Exactly. I think it's real, 100%.
Exactly.
I want you to compare that sound to Anthony. If you put it and mix them, you probably won't know the difference. It's just that her sounded a little lower because of the quality of her mic. But if you put them, they almost are exactly like that.
Yeah.
Look at the woman in the picture. Is he talking about? I mean, we hear a woman, but what picture?
I don't remember seeing any woman that.
Oh, earlier he wrote, anyone else is seeing a demon in the front left?
A demon, I think he means.
Oh, demon in the front left. Here, let's go back to the video. We play from the beginning. Now I'm curious. So look in the front left.
There. No, there's a motorcycle. See?
I don't see
We saw that.
Can't be the motorcycles, honey.
And if you listen to their conversation, one woman goes, it can't be the motorcycles because one lady said, maybe it's a motorcycle. And the lady said, it can't be a motorcycle because if it was, you could hear it. So I do like the conversation where the one woman was trying to find a reason on what she's seeing.
I think he's saying, is anyone else seeing the demon in the front left? I think he's calling the apparition a demon.
Oh, okay.
No, there's a motorcycle.
Let's see.
The one that walks over what looks like a rock
I
right
don't
there.
see nothing down there. Can't be the
Then you
motorcycle.
see near the middle in the trees, you can see and I'm not talking about the fireflies. I'm talking about you see a mist.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here, man.
True.
No.
There is a lot that's going on.
Right.
It's a great video.
But Robert Alley is right. I mean, technically, we know they caught something, but we can't put it out to say maybe it was a demon, maybe it wasn't a ghost of a soldier. I mean, we don't exactly know, but what we do know is we all feel that they did capture something.
Eric, I think I'm not 100%. I think the video I put down there is when I go, oh my God, with the ghost. I think that's it. I'm not 100%.
You know what?
No, that's not it.
I know you're gonna say, he's bullshitting.
That's not it.
That was the first. That was
the first
before
time.
it actually he got scared.
That was the first
Remember
time.
that.
I know I have it somewhere.
Chasing the True Sean, he researches himself too. Amazing how clear that video is. I think it's from a VHS, if I remember. VHS could be. I mean, that's
Could it be
you know.
this one? Try this one, Eric.
See.
I gotta show you, Eric. Oh yeah.
That's it.
And then let me go back to this one. Let me see if I get to her voice going, huh? Let's see. I can't remember exactly when it was. Let me see here.
Wait a minute. No, there's a motorcycle. See?
I don't see nothing down there. Can't be the motorcycles, honey. There's another sparkle.
Right there.
You heard that?
At 13 seconds. Let me go back to number 3. And guys, listen to her very closely. Put your ear next to the speaker. Here we go.
There's another sparkle. You see what?
And let's go back to Anthony's. It's almost the same. It's spooky.
Yeah, I think it's real.
And if it doesn't sound exactly, it's still the same breathing in like that. And that's like, I'm sorry, you know why I believe
Takes
it's
your breath
real?
away.
Because even acting, just the time in itself and everything like that. Now, could they have done 20 friggin' takes and voiced it? Of course, anything's possible. But the thing is, it's just a lot of past. It's not like they're the first ones picking up apparitions there in Gettysburg. You know what I mean? There's a lot.
When you come down here, Eric,
kind of lean towards it's real, you know?
yeah. When Eric comes down here, Ron, when it comes to New York, we should
Oh,
all take a trip to Gettysburg.
Well, my daughter kind of wants to see the hospital she was born in because she was born in Frederick, Maryland. That's the hospital that's 5-6 minutes away from Gettysburg.
We should all go.
Yeah, because my daughter was born in
crash at the
Maryland.
hospital. They got enough beds, right?
Actually, the night that my wife was in labor to go to the hospital, there was like one road to the country to get there, and there was cops on the road, and they told us we can't go through. And I remember like, but the wife's pregnant. We got to get her to the hospital. Nope, you can't go this way. And we actually had to go like right back into the city of Fetch, go around to get to the hospital. I'm like, God damn, not even the cops will let us go to the hospital.
Can I show you something real quick? Because we always talk about
Not at
how
all.
wonderful our audience is,
They're
right?
beautiful
And we all basically, some have more, some have less, but it's all the same. They're the wonderful people. So today, my bell rings early, right?
Mhm.
And this is what I received from you. If you could put me on the big thing, Eric, for a second. Can you do that? Watch this.
Wow. Who made that, man?
Arlene Atkinzel.
No way. That is incredible.
That's awesome.
Look at
I
this.
love it.
What is the alien head made out of? Is that cardboard? Is that
My
plastic?
3D print that I made.
Ron 3D prints them.
Oh, you 3D printed that.
Yeah.
I
And she put
sent
it
her
on
one
that.
for her, and she decided to paint it and make this for me.
That is incredible.
It blew me
tell ya.
away.
I
It choked
tell
me up when I got it. It choked me up when I got it because I'm
we
like,
have-
they're just amazing. They're just amazing. That's it. Like that. That's why.
We have the most
That's
beautiful
why I
people.
give as much as I can to all of you.
The other day, Ron, the other day I get a package in the mail, and it's from Akashi Chris, and she sent me the Spirit Animal Tarot cards, brand new in the box, and candy. And let me tell you, man, this is how beautiful our audience is. They're the most beautiful people in the world, man. I love them.
Wait, whoa.
What?
Can I see what kind of candy she sent you?
Oh, you mean the Godiva chocolate
Give up.
and the aftershocks?
Hey, Ron,
Really, Chris?
hey,
All
Ron,
right.
I gotta get you. I gotta get my son to talk to you because my son does 3D printer too. And
Oh,
he makes these.
Oh,
games,
that's like Warcraft or something like that?
yes. He
Beautiful.
and he paints.
Yeah.
Great job.
How old is your son, Eric?
He's 18 now.
Great job.
That takes a lot of time painting those little small.
You know what I'll do, Eric? I'll email you a couple of things I use. He'll love it for the bases. Like this Tetris stuff I buy, and it's for the base. I'm sure if he doesn't use it now, he'll fall in love with it. He'll love
The
it.
other day, he made me a Mandalorian. Like, damn. And I'm always thinking, like, you know what? I should have him make me something that represents the show and like sell them out. You know, like
No, those are. He did a
These
great
are
job.
Great job.
handmade 3D printer.
No,
Now, I don't think
Akashi
his
Chris
3D
is trying to
printer
get
is
out of it
yours.
now.
Yours,
You know,
your 3D printer makes pretty good size. I don't know what's the biggest he can make his, but I know he's asking for something for Christmas to be able to make the prints even bigger. I don't know exactly what he's asking for, but I should have him get with you and talk some
give
printing.
him my email address if you want.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron.
All right. He can contact me anytime he likes.
Ron,
What?
can I offer you a Godiva chocolate?
That's all right. That's all right.
Well,
She sent
everybody-
him Harry Potter jelly beans that taste like earwax and dirt and puke.
No, yeah, no, and the vomit is booger.
I got
But
chocolate.
here's the thing, though, is that she just sent me another package.
Oh boy.
No, but I live up to it. No, I know you were allowed to open it. She doesn't want me to open it, so I don't. But I know for a fact it's not that. I could just guarantee it. And I know it's not these because, like I said, I molested that package. And I was like, what is this? And I'm like, it just can't be good. It sounds like there's a lot of stuff in there. And I just have a feeling you never go worse. You always go higher and upgrade. So I have a feeling on this Sunday on her show, I'm going to be in trouble. I do.
Boy. Oh boy.
I do want to say I'm going to be ending the show soon, guys. There's something I have to do about 15 minutes. But before we go, we know Anthony has a show this Sunday on this channel, on the Unidentified S4 channel. What's your topic for Sunday?
I didn't put a title up yet, a
Not
thumbnail yet, but
Okay.
it's probably going to just be a general hangout show, just going over UFO footage and ghost footage, like a catch-all. UFO
Kind of like
ghost
today,
footage.
like in a way.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
But
Just
I
to
do
have
want
fun.
to say, everybody in the chat, tomorrow I'm not doing a show tomorrow because tomorrow is Veterans Day.
Veterans Day, yeah.
And if you guys know somebody's a veteran and all that, say thank you for your service. You know, be nice. Well, I mean, you should always be nice, but you know what I mean. It's Veterans Day, and thing is, you know, people, anybody who signs up for whatever reason why they sign up, you know, they're putting their life on the line, just like a police officer, a fireman, and all that. You're automatically signing up for something that can easily increase in your life percentage wise versus most other kind of jobs. We all know you can have accidents anywhere, but when you sign up for a military, police, fireman, that you're really putting your life out there. And especially in the military, regardless how you feel with the government, you know, your job in the military is to do whatever they tell you to do. And a lot of times people don't want to be put in certain situations. Whatever you feel about wars and stuff, put that aside. Most soldiers are people just like you and I. We join because, you know, we need an income too. We want to serve our country. And it's just give a special thing. Just think about that. Even whatever your beliefs are, because one thing that I hate about wars is, you know, you pick a side. They're evil. They're good. Most of these people, most of these soldiers are just fighting for the country. Sometimes they don't even have a choice. They have families. They have kids. They have wives, just like anybody else. So not everybody is a bad person, a good person. So when you see a veteran, just say thank you for your service and appreciate. Because I really believe this, that we wouldn't even be here today if it wasn't for the men and women who fight for the country. You know, myself,
Yeah.
I was in, you know, I got injured and all that, but really tomorrow is the day to say thanks. Usually on Veterans Day, I'm going to try to do tomorrow almost every year. I always go to the VA hospital, and my main thing to do there is sit with them, because some of the older people that goes there, the number one thing they like is conversation.
Yep.
They just want to sit there and tell you the stories, not necessarily candy, coffee, you know, give them flowers and stuff. A lot of these people just want to talk and tell you their stories.
And to let them know that they still matter.
Yeah,
You know what I
they
mean?
want to feel they
Absolutely.
matter. So one of the best gifts you could give a veteran is talk to them, let them tell you about their experience. I'm telling you, it makes their day, it makes them feel
And Eric,
good.
thank you for your service, brother.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you for making the ultimate sacrifice to keep us safe. And along with Eric, Long Island Bigfoot brother, thank you for your service. And any other servicemen and women out there that I didn't mention, thank you for your service. Because it's because of you that we get to sleep in peace at night. It's
We get to
because
do
you
this.
made the ultimate sacrifice. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. All our servicemen and women.
And that goes for firemen, policemen, even doctors, man. They put their life is in your hands, you know. Give these people the appreciation that they deserve.
I always
beyond
say,
that-
man, if something happened tomorrow, even though I'm retired, man, I would run out there again and do it all over.
I know.
But I
though
didn't
they
put
won't-
it in my mind.
even though they won't take us because of the injuries, but I know
Without
what
a
you're
thought in my
saying, that
mind.
you do whatever. Like, hey, I can do this. I can do that.
Yeah.
Whatever they need. I know exactly what you're saying.
We're gonna start a new thing for people like myself that sacrifice for cheap thrills. Like that, you know?
Yeah. Well, I am going to the movies tonight. I'm hoping that the new Black Panther movie is good. So hopefully
It looks good.
Hopefully it's good. It's going to be weird watching it without their main actor that plays the.
Yeah.
He passed away in real
Wakanda
life.
forever.
He passed away in real life, and there he is, right there, Long Island Bigfoot again.
My brother, thank you for your service, brother.
man.
I love you, man.
You're
Brother
awesome.
Mike.
You're awesome. Beyond that, guys, I'm going to end the show. I had so much fun today. It was just. I hope you guys enjoyed the point
Stay
of view.
tuned tonight. I'm gonna do a pop-up tonight. I started my memberships, but I want to go over stuff with you guys. It's gonna be awesome.
Awesome.
Excellent.
All right, guys. Beyond that, I'll see you all in the chat during Unidentified SFR channel on Sunday, because the Seahawks play at 6:30 in the morning because they're playing in Germany. So
wow.
I gotta get up at 6 a.m. in the morning. God damn it, but I'll be up.
You
I
and
love
your
my football.
Seahawks.
Beyond that, guys, we'll see everybody later.